everybody, and welcome to the No Huddle. I'm Tolly Carr. No games in the present, but man, we can smell it on the horizon. Along with the hint of barbecue and burgers and hot dogs, we're missing it all. The MEAC announced its spring football schedule this past week ahead of its basketball media day. You can find it at HBCUGameDay.com, but quickly the football season starts on Saturday, February 20th with a 4-game slate. And it's going to be cold in February. Y'all tell me about the game. The regular season is going to end on April 10th. It'll be a little warmer. The MEAC Championships on April 17th, and the MEAC champion gets the automatic qualifier to the FCS playoffs. Full schedule is at HBCUGameDay.com. As previously mentioned, Jackson State, they are mourning the loss of legendary coach W.C. Gorden, one of the greatest coaches in SWAC football history, and that is a very long and illustrious history. The former Jackson State coach recently passed away in Jackson, Mississippi. He was 90 years old. Gorden led Jackson State to eight SWAC titles in the 1980s and the 90s. Gorden was an alum of Tennessee State University, and he finished his career with a 119-48-5 record. Sticking with Jackson State, the football program was placed on 2 years probation for violations that occurred in the program prior to the Deion Sanders era. Now, you can get the full details of this story as well at HBCUGameDay.com, but here's a small snapshot of some of the punishment that was levied by the NCAA. The football program must serve a 1-week ban on unofficial visits in January, February, March, and April of 2021. There's also a reduction of 4 football official paid visits during the 2021-22 academic year, and the football program must serve a 1-week ban of all recruiting communication, and that includes off-campus recruiting, any contacts, the entire football staff, no matter if it's transfers, freshmen, doesn't matter. And that is going to happen in May and June of 2021. So those are the restrictions moving forward. Not quite the death penalty. I think Jackson State's going to be all right. Okay, on to this week's show and more great memories from the 2019 season. Buckle up, Buttercup. Here are the top 10 plays as captured by the lens of HBCU Game. Let's start at number 10. We are talking comebacks. Don't call it a comeback.
On the very next play, Latmer goes right back to Brandon Pearson Boyd, who makes an amazing grab for the touchdown. And when you come at the Kings, you best not miss. Fayetteville State back up 35-34 with 2 minutes left to play. And my guy Saul Smith let me know he not the only playmaker out here from the Ville. Keyshawn James gets a big sack and makes sure there wasn't about to be no miracles for the Golden Bulls on their final drive. The Broncos sneak up out of Charlotte with the CI South crown still untarnished, but FSU knows the heat is on and the rest of the division is coming at their neck. Marquise Go Hard Gorham gets the jet sweep, makes a cut, and if you're beside him, you're really behind him. 39 yards, 6 points, Shaw up 9-21-12. Just under 8 minutes left in the game, Bowie looking to make a big play down the field, but Kevin Sherman reaches back and gets the nice pick. Shaw gets the ball back, and the Bears are closing in on that upset. 2:53 left on the clock. Bowie State needs to make a big play, and they did just that. Blake Dove puts the pause on the punt. Ricardo Smith dives on it in the end zone. The Shaw lead is cut down to 2, 21-19, and the reigning CIAA champs are back up in this thing. Shaw was feeling all the pressure on their next drive as Bowie State held them to a quick 3-and-out. With only 35 seconds left to play, Shaw looks to punt it away once again, and once again Blake Dove gets his hands on the punt. Ricardo Smith catches it and returns it down to the Shaw 5-yard line. Only 12 seconds left for Bowie State to get up out of Raleigh with the comeback win. Gaston Cooper finds Dushawn David 8 yards, and you can go ahead and kill all that upset talk, Mo. Bowie State pulls it out in the final seconds, 26-21 Bulldogs.
We're going to overtime. In the first overtime, A&M with the ball first. Jordan Bentley bounces it in. A&M up 28-21. Alabama State, their turn. Davis connects with Tyreek Allen for a Hornets touchdown. 28-all. Another overtime. Hornets get the ball first in the second overtime. Davis in the back of the end zone. Jahad Booker comes down with the touchdown. 35-28 Hornets. Bulldogs facing third down. Glass rolls to the left, throws it up, and is Zabrion Moore once again in the end zone. A Bulldogs touchdown, 35-all. You guessed it, third overtime. In the third OT, it's time to drive the Bentley. Jordan Bentley, the senior running back, had over 200 all-purpose yards, scores on this 6-yard screen play. You have to go for two. Bentley taking the shovel pass into the end zone, 43-35 Bulldogs up. Hornets need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. They get 6 points here. Davis to Tyreek Allen again across the middle, 43-41. The 2 is mandatory. Would we get a tie? Desmond Fletcher comes up with the huge deflection for Alabama A&M, and for the second year in a row, the Bulldogs win it in Birmingham. They take the 78th Magic City Classic.
Number 8, number 7, we're talking about rivalries renewed. Now, I had a front row seat to number 8, Savannah State, back in the SIAC, kicking butt and taking names. It began in earnest when the Tigers marched on Atlanta and Morehouse. And number 7, Hampton, trying to stay connected with an invitation to the cookout and their HBCU roots, doing a little business with Virginia Union that didn't turn out as expected.
Savannah State 17-10 winners in Atlanta on their welcome back to the SIAC tour.
I don't want to get emotional. That's pretty awesome. It's been a downtrodden program for a lot of years. 20 years, people have been embarrassed to be Savannah State fans and hadn't had a lot to talk on the water cooler. Now these guys can stick their chest out a little bit, and we can bring some pride back, help save our school, our university, and put ours back on the map. So a big win for us in Atlanta, and man, what a great crowd. Get that crowd, man. They're awesome.
I'm very glad that we stepped down SIAC, mainly because our guys can compete on the level that other schools are at the same level. Prior to that, we were getting, it wasn't a good look. But now we're doing this. This is one of our great outcomes from a game here locally in Atlanta.
I love it. I love it. We get to play some games with some teams we're comfortable with playing. I love it.
Is it easier as a fan to travel?
Oh, heck yes. It's easier to travel in the SIAC because we can go beat them Fort Valley Wildcats, them Golden Rams, beat them all. Because the mighty Savannah State Tigers.
And you're not about to leg tackle no Tobias Taylor, bruh. 40 yards, another 7 points, Union up 14-0. And I don't know why Jadakiss Bonds was this wide open, but go ahead and knock yourself out with a 40-yard touchdown, my guy. Pirates cut the Panther lead to 14-7 in the second. But on the field in the second half, Union was Craig hitting Debo with the brick. Tobias Taylor has a couple strong runs that sets up another great play-action touchdown pass from Khalid Morris to Charles Hall, this one for 28 yards, 21-17 Union with the lead. Rashad McKenzie tries to reverse field in the absolute worst place you should ever try that, the end zone. He gets tripped up for a safety, 2 more points for the Panthers, 23-17 Virginia Union. A field goal by Union makes it 26-17, and you can officially start to see the sweat trickling down Hampton's cheek early in the fourth quarter. Francois looking to make a play to get his squad back in the game, but Sterling Hammond gets a pick. Khalid Morris finds Charles Hall in the end zone for the third time. It's 33-17 Union. They would add another field goal to make the final score 36-17. Union scores 22 unanswered points. Tobias Taylor finishes with 165 yards on the ground. Charles Taylor, 3 catches, 3 touchdowns, 152 yards, and Union had some smoke for anyone thinking they were about to come for these boys from Richmond.
We won! Oh my God! Tell them we need that thing in all one.
With FAMU quarterback Riley Stanley sidelined, McCabe threw a back shoulder pass to Williams in the end zone to seal the win. To say it was a wild one in Tallahassee is the understatement of the year. Willie Simmons' Rattlers are now 6-1 and 4-0 in the MEAC. They head up to Baltimore next week to face the Morgan State Bears.
What can I say about homecoming in the Mecca of Black excellence? Well, the parade had King T'Challa and Killmonger together, swerving in charges. The food was incredible, authentic, and made with that good HBCU love.
So how long you been out here at the homecomings cooking?
15 years?
What keeps you coming back?
The people, man. You know. Actually, through doing this, we've been able to establish a brick and mortar. It's called the Tender Rib. It's across from Andrews Air Force Base. And basically, we specialize in Southern cooking. So, you know, we love Howard. We love the homecoming. We love the games. So, you know, from Uncle Clyde, man, it's much love.
Now, Howard had the homecoming halftime all to themselves, and they started out with some pomp and circumstances with the coronation of the royal court, but then it was show enough showtime as Howard's band put their whole leg in this halftime performance. Back on the yard at 1601 East Market Street for the greatest homecoming on earth.
You already know, greatest homecoming in the world. Don't let anybody tell you different.
And they might need to change the T in A&T to tailgating, because the grills were smoking and every Aggie I saw had a clean bone in hand.
We gotta have fish every homecoming. Fried fish every homecoming, brother. Aggie fried.
And the family reunion vibes were extra heavy. I met all types of black excellence in the G Hotel.
I came to A&T in 1959. During my freshman year, we started the sit-in demonstration at Woolworth. I have met some of the most outstanding leaders in the world right here at A&T.
As well as my own kinfolk, Sybil, the voice behind the cookout classic Don't Make Me Over, who was also Miss A&T back in her day.
Honey, I was on the stage in Corbett doing my thing. So they asked me to come back, and I did a homecoming show here at Corbett, and it was great. And what the beauty was, you know, line dancing was a big deal, like electric slide. They ended up electric sliding to Don't Make Me Over, but it was fab. The whole floor filled with nothing but Aggies and Aggie supporters just doing a dance together. So for me, it was really cool. So the minute that don't make me don't make me don't. Once that hit, I was good.
It was Spell House in Atlanta. Translation, homecoming for Spelman and Morehouse, and it was as thick as duck butter all around the stadium and in the stands. Alums back in town showing that they still have it, and we're here for it. And so is Pop Pop. We picked this one up in the second half. Morehouse already looking good and feeling good, up 22-0 over Benedict. Now, Benedict not having the year it expected, winless so far, but on the comeback trail, maybe. Third quarter, Raylan Elzy on the receiving end of this Eric Phoenix pass. Trust me, he caught it, just a bit of two ships passing in the night behind the lens. Later in the fourth quarter, Elijah Watson with a rumbling, bumbling, stumbling touchdown catch, 22-13 ball game. The Morehouse lead trimmed to 9. Keep it moving in the fourth quarter. Michael Sims with an insurance policy to Tremel Gooden. And do my eyes deceive me? Santo Dunn earning his scholarship. Not only is he a superstar rusher, he kicks extra points. This one missed though, but Morehouse wins the game 34-13.
To someone on the outside looking in, Winston-Salem State and Wake Forest University may seem like polar opposites. One is a private, predominantly white university with more than 8,000 students. Founded in 1834 on a plantation by the Baptist State Convention of North Carolina. The other is a historically black public research university with an enrollment of just over 5,000. that was started in a one-room schoolhouse with only 25 students and one teacher. And with only 5 miles separating their campuses, they've been neighbors in Winston-Salem since 1956, sometimes serving as brick and mortar representations of the city's demographic divide. But through what may seem like an infinite amount of differences, the schools were able to find common ground in the sweet sound of music. As Wake Forest invited Winston-Salem State's marching band, the Red Sea of Sound, to share the field at halftime during the Demon Deacons home opener of the 2019 football season.
Hello HBCU world, my name is Michael Magruder. I am the Director of Bands at Winston-Salem State University. We needed something that two groups would come together. Although it's a brief moment for us, but we're still here. They appreciate us being here. We appreciate them even asking us to be here. So we have a great relationship with the city of Winston-Salem. We have a great relationship with Wake Forest band directors, so we're trying to bridge the gap.
This is going to be probably some of the biggest that a few of our bandsmen have performed for. So I think it means a lot to them just to be in front of this many people. You know, we went through a lot of hard work in band camp in the first 2 weeks of school, and now we get to show everybody on a large stage what the band can do. You gotta have two different personalities. You know, there's the military personality when you gotta get everybody together, make sure the lines are straight. Because then when I'm performing, you know, I wanna make sure that I look as good as possible. I want to make sure that my moves are nice and crisp.
And before the bands united for their halftime performance, they wowed the crowd from the stands as Winston-Salem State's band injected a little extra energy into the already raucous Wake Forest crowd. The bands played together for just over 3 minutes, but during that time, there was no us and there was no them. It was just we, as music was able to unite the two Winston-Salem universities in a moment of literal harmony.
I've never seen a better halftime show.
One of the best I've ever seen.
What y'all think of the halftime show? It was great.
Two thumbs up, two thumbs up. They should have been doing it all along.
It was lit.
We've got to do it again. I'm thinking every single home game.
Yes.
Honestly, I like the vibe, the music choice, amazing.
What's the recipe for the ultimate black college football experience? Take Florida A&M plus Southern University, bring the rivalry back after being dormant for almost a decade, add in two of the biggest, baddest bands in the land, put them in front of over 27,000 fans, and just sit back and watch history unfold. And the players on the field were ready. Both squads were on one during pregame, and believe it or not, it exceeded the hype. So you can go ahead and file this one away in the classic section of the HBCU football history books. Ladarius Skelton was back in the third quarter, and he had the SU offense making all types of moves down the field. Skelton finds Jamar Washington, who puts the ill pivot on the defender, breaks free and dives into the end zone for the 23-yard score. Jags cut the Rattler lead down 19-14. The Southern section, rocking. The Jaguar D, flocking. Jacoby Papillion gets low for the interception, and the Jags got the stovetop hot and are cooking up a comeback in the third. Southern with a chance to take the lead, and Ladarius Skelton puts the squad on his back. Here he goes straight through the fangs of the Rattler D, reaches out for the goal line while being tackled. He gets the 6, and the Jags take the 21-19 lead in the fourth quarter. But nothing seems to faze this guy, Ryan Stanley. Backed up against his own end zone, he finds Xavier Smith for 42 yards, then finds Smith again for 17 yards. It looks so good, they might as well run it back. Ryan Stanley, Xavier Smith, 17 yards. This one for the go-ahead touchdown with just over 3 minutes left to play, and the FAMU fans are all the way turned up. And the Rattlers win the thriller against Southern 27-21. And the Rattlers get to sing their alma mater with their helmets held high after winning a classic iteration of a classic HBCU rivalry.
Man, it's amazing, man. The crowd, man, it's just amazing, man. FAMU Rattler Nation got the best fans, man. It feels good.
Hey, you already know when I got in the championship. I 3-0 right there. You already know what's going on. I got 2 more coming through the mail right now, and I'll come back to 2 years.
First quarter, Carter the Bell over the shoulder like little Michael Jackson in the studio with Barry Gorden. He tops it off with the LeBron chalk toss. That's a whole lot of GOAT business.
Only a few teams at 3 feet. North Carolina A&T 1-0. Come on, man.
My brother Sly. Yes, sir. My sister Sly. My whole team, yeah, we slide.
Jermaine Martin, 75 yards through the tunnel, 31-10.
See, Celebration Bowl champs here. We go next year, and the year after that, and the year after that. Let's go, baby. I'm just blessed to be here. I don't care about all the stuff. I'm a team player at the end of the day. As long as my team winning, that's all I care about at the end of the day.
This one was a final scene of Scarface type shootout.
That's 6 rings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm about to run out. Well, I graduated now, so I ain't run out of rings. We graduate and win championships around here.
All right, everyone, that's going to do it for today's episode of the No Huddle. I hope you enjoyed those top 10 plays as captured by HBCU Game Day. We can only show you what we saw ourselves. There was lots and lots of great plays, but that's how we saw it in 2019. Hey, if you want to be a part of the HBCU Nation, like HBCU Game Day and Cross Colors, we have a 10% off discount code right at the top of our website. Go to hbcugameday.com. You can have 10% off whatever Cross Colors gear that you might fancy. And there's a lot of good stuff out there. I don't know why I said the word fancy. Who talks like that, right? Well, that's the end of the show. I'm Tolly Carr from Atlanta. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll talk to you next time right here on the No Huddle.